Oh, hi there. Welcome to Dr. Levin's Music Lab. No, I'm not a real doctor. I lost my medical license after I cut a man's throat open and replaced his trachea with a PVC pipe. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about music. So in this lesson I'm going to show you how to utilize open strings and harmonics to make your guitar sound really sustained and harp-like. What I mean is basically how to play melodic licks like this one. So basically what this technique comes down to is anytime you can, instead of making a sound like this, is that the cat? So what I do in this technique is anytime I can play an open string or two adjacent strings ringing together or a harmonic, I do so. Which means if I have a spot that sounds like this, instead of playing all three notes on one string, I separate them among as many strings as I can. In this instance, I played A, B, C, and instead of playing them all on the D string, this time I'm gonna go A, then open B, then C on the G string. So the sound is so different. It's like a really great effect for your guitar playing, and it's also kind of like having an effect pedal without having one. You know, it's just such a drastically different sound that it sounds like a different instrument. So utilizing this technique requires you to have a pretty good knowledge of what the notes of the open strings are and what the harmonics of the open strings are. So as you practice, just like try to pay attention to and remember exactly what's going on all these frets and with these open strings. So a good way to start with that would be to take something as simple as a G major scale and apply this rule to it. So anytime you can play two strings ringing together or an open string or harmonic, you do so. So here's how the G major scale, we'll just play it one octave at first. Here's how it sounds using open strings and ringing. So what I did was I took the G on the 3rd fret of the low E string, then I used an open A, then I played B on the 7th fret of the low E string, and then I played C on the 3rd fret of the A string, and then the open D. Let's just go up to there for now. So then we're going to play E on the 7th fret of the A string, and F sharp on the D string, 4th fret, and we'll end with an open G. So and you can do that going up and down. I've got this all written out and notated in the accompanying lesson sheet that you can find at benlevinlab.com. But you just take the whole scale and apply this method to it, and it sounds ringy throughout. Check it out. So now I'm going to show you how to do that lick that I did at the beginning of the lesson. It's very slippery, difficult kind of thing. I wrote it as like an etude lick to get this concept down. But you use a lot of open harmonics, a lot of full chords that you play arpeggiated, and also open strings, of course, to make this effect happen. And it's kind of a difficult, confusing lick. And I'll play it here slowly first, and then I'll play it at normal speed. it's really important to practice this very slowly and in little sections at a time. Like, I would just start with the very first part very slowly, like this. And you try to make it so that every note is sustaining as much as possible. Then the next part. And so on until you've got the whole entire lick in your fingers, comfortable, and at a reasonably slow tempo. And then you start building up the speed a little bit, very gradually. This whole thing is difficult at first, but it's extremely beautiful and awesome once you get it to a comfortable speed and can use it in your playing and in your writing. So start by just doing the scales that I've got printed out for you. Well, I guess I don't have them printed out because this is on the internet. Start with the scales that are on the website, benlevinlab.com. Also, you can see the whole big master lick, or whatever you want to call it, notated as well. Oh, okay. Ugh. So don't sue me for musical malpractice, and I hope you enjoy using open strings and harmonics in your own playing.